right, we are moving on to our second lesson of Unit 7. Our topic today is proportions and percents. Your learning target, you can use proportions to find missing parts, wholes, and percent. So that's what you're going to be able to do today. You can use a proportion to find a missing part, whole, or percent. There's a few different percent proportions. The first one that we're going to deal with today is the is over of. So this is one of the three different ways to create a percent proportion. We say this as is over of equals percent over 100. I want you to memorize this percent proportion problem. You see it all the time in any kind of assessments that you take in your homework. You want to be able to just know if you see a vocab word is or of, you need to create this proportion to solve. All right, first example. 98% of 18 is what number? So I know that I'm going to use the is and of proportion because I have them as the vocabulary words. Anytime I create a proportion, if you recall from Unit 6, we can create a little template. The nice thing about is and of, 100 is constant. It's always going to be at that bottom right. So right when I see the word of and is, I go ahead and create this template with the two equal ratios and the 100 at the bottom right. And now I just fill in what I have. How I handle this is I find my first vocabulary word, which is the word of. And then I have two numbers by the of, so I need to figure out which one is the of. I have 98% and 18 by the vocab word of. Well, 98% is already a percent, so it should be on the top right. So then the only other number left is 18. So 18 is my of. Of goes on the bottom, so 18 is going to go on the bottom. And X is left over, the top, the is. And then you use your cross product to solve. 100x equals, you're definitely going to want a calculator for this. 18 times 98 is 1,764. And then I need to divide by 100. And x equals 17.64. So 17.64 is my is. Okay, the next one. 35 is 42% of what number? So again, I see the vocab word is and of. So I create my percent proportion. My is over of equals percent over 100. I identify my first vocab word, which is, and I look at the numbers right next to it. I have 35 and 42%. So clearly the 42% goes where the percent goes. And then 35 is my is. Is goes on the top. So I'm looking for my of on the bottom. Use the cross product. 42x equals 3,500. 3,500 divided by 42, 83.3 repeat. Alrighty, next one, our third example. 45% of 30 is what number? So I see the vocab words of and is, so I know it's is over of equals percent over 100. So I create my little template. 100 is always at the bottom right. Okay, so I took a little break here. So that means I totally forget where I left off. So I'm just starting over even though you guys have already done this. All right, 45% of 30 is what number? So I see the vocab word of and is. So I know it's an is over of equals percent over 100. So I draw my little proportion template. And then I see my first vocab word is of. I have 45% and 30 connected to it. Well, the 45 is a percent, so that goes over the 100. So my of is 30. So of is on the bottom, and I'm looking for the is on top. And then I do my cross product. 100x equals 45 times 30 is 1350. Divide it by 100, and you get x equals 13.50. All right, next one. 100 is 10% of what number? So I see the vocab word is and of, so I know it's an is over of equals percent over 100. So I draw my template, identify my first vocab word, and then determine what number is connected to it. 100 is 10%. Well, 10 is a percent, so that goes over 100. So my 100 is the is, and that goes on top. So I'm looking for my of on the bottom. Do the cross product. 10x equals 100 times 100 is 10,000. Okay, and then I need to divide. So 10,000 divided by 10 is 1,000. Alrighty, last two here. 36 is 27% of what? Again, I see the is and of, so I know it's an is over of equals percent over 100. And the only two numbers by the is 36 and 27%. That's a percent, so it goes above the 100. So 36 is my is, which goes on top. So I'm looking for my of on the bottom. Cross product, 27x equals 3,600. Divide, 3,600 divided by 27 is 133.3, repeat. There we go. And last one. What is 28% of 54? Make my template. 100 goes on the bottom right. Is my first vocab word, but I have a what and a 28%. So I put my 28 with the percent. What means a variable, so that would go on top. Of is my 54. Cross product, 100x equals 54 times 28, which is 1,512. Divide that by 100, and you get 15.12 is your is, or my variable. So again, your learning target today, you need to memorize the is over of equals percent over 100 to help you solve percent proportions. So percent proportions are going to have an is, an of, and a percent. And you're always going to have two of them. You're going to need to find the third. And how you find the third missing one is by filling in what you're given and then using the cross product.